Hi, I'm Lisa Rangel with Chameleon Resumes, the premier executive resume writing company. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today is going to be another sweatshirt conversation. It's staying in the warm, comfy clothes, and I want to talk to you about something that has become something that is near and dear to my heart. And I'm actually a mindset change on this particular topic, and I'm going to explain why. So today we're going to talk about, do you need a direction in order to write an executive resume? So, this conversation is particular to executive resumes. It's not for every resume, possible that can be written out there. And, when I first started in 2009, I was absolutely of the mindset that you needed a direction to start a resume. It's always good to have one. So I'm not saying by any means it's bad to have a direction. You absolutely should ideally have a direction when writing your executive resume. But here's the thing. This is what I've learned over the last few years. Everyone doesn't have a direction, and what are you supposed to do? Wait around, not have conversations, because if you have a conversation, somebody says, oh, just send me your updated resume or send me your resume, and you don't have one that's updated, that's polished, that's modern, that's showing what you want to do, that's showing achievement-driven language and showing all the things, if you've been following me for a while, the way a resume is supposed to look. What are you supposed to do? Not send anything, send the old thing, or what a lot of people unfortunately do is they just don't reach out and have conversations because they're like, well, I don't have a resume, so I can't really talk to people until I know what I want, because then I'll update the resume and then I can go talk to people. And it's like this weird chicken or the egg thing, right? Like, what should come first, the direction or the resume? And believe me, in an ideal world, I want you to have a direction before I write you a resume. Hands down. That part hasn't changed. What has changed for me is, and we've been doing it now for, 4 or 5 years, is we will write a resume for someone, an executive resume particularly, when someone isn't sure exactly what direction they want to go in. But we will write what I call an exploratory resume for them to have, hence exploratory conversations. You still need a polished document. You need a modern document. You need a document that is using achievement-driven language to show recent relevant achievements that you want to do in your next job. Maybe you don't know yet what is relevant to the job target because you don't have a target yet, but at least start with what you want to do in your next job. And I find that when we write a resume for somebody, when we write a resume for a client that is, senior level, has done a lot, by not knowing what direction you want, it's not like a CFO is all of a sudden gonna, a CFO of a pharmaceutical firm is all of a sudden gonna wanna, go buy a knitting franchise and needs a resume for it. You know what I mean? It's not like somebody's gonna do this massive career change typically at an executive level. They're going to take what they know how to do and try to repackage it and repurpose it into something different or possibly the same, but they're just not sure which direction they're going in, but they're not completely reinventing themselves. That's why we can do it, because we're not pivoting so, 180-ish where you're not doing what you've never done, what you've always done. You just don't know what to do with what you know how to do. And so that's what we help you with. And it's like a career therapy, right? It is career coaching on some level, but it's really an evaluation. You might be, here's the thing, where we get cloudy in life, and I think this has been absolutely characteristic of the last 2 years, is, compounding stress of being in a pandemic, compounding, unrealistic expectations at work, conflicting expectations between family and work and trying to manage that, our own health being compromised in many ways, both directly and subliminally. And all this has been going on even before the pandemic started. And then that just, completely compounded everything with the pandemic the last couple of years. And so when you add all that stress and it cloudies the mind, right? It makes everything really nebulous, and you can't see what's next. You can't see what you want to do. And so it can become paralytic to even just start writing about yourself sometimes, right? Especially if you're supposed to start with your direction, if you're supposed to start with what you want, and you're like, I don't even know what I want for breakfast, never mind what I want for my next, career move sometimes. I mean, I know I feel that way some days, right? And I know I'm not alone. So, but you got to have a document, especially if you haven't updated it in 5 years or 3 years or 10 years, or you've been updating the one you had from college. So it might be updated, but the format's, 22 years old, which, believe me, I see more often than I care to admit. The key is you got to look the part. And here's one real important part when you're doing this type of exploratory resume is, I think once we start to get to an age, maybe 35, 40, 50, definitely, and I say this as somebody who is soon to be 52, we're accomplished. We know how to do things. We know how to get things done. But we get to a place where we're like, you know what? I don't want to do that anymore. I'm super good at it, but God help me if I got to do that again. I don't want to do it anymore. We get to a place where the resume should not be everything we've ever done, because you know what? We've done a lot. But now this is your gut check. This is your period of evaluation where you go, you know what? I am thankfully, blessedly good at a lot of things, and I've accomplished quite a bit in my life. But I'm going to go through that skill set. I'm going to go through those accomplishments and decide what I want to do and continue to do next, and what I never want to do again, even though I'm fabulous at it. And so you start making that choice. And now all of a sudden, what you think should be your 3 and 4 page resume, because you've done so much, really can become a realistic, very desired 2-page document. And it becomes very manageable now. And again, this is a marketing document. So you want to cherry pick the recent relevant experiences that you want to continue doing. And then you have a series of conversations, exploratory conversations, and you eventually get to a point where you're going to figure out what you want to do. And now you hope that those cherry-picked things that you want to do are going to meet the needs of that prospective employer, that job that you've discovered or validated that you want. And you may need to make some tweaks accordingly. You might make some compromises of like, you know what, that thing I thought I didn't want to do, I really want to work for that company, and it's really not a big part of the job, so I'll put that back in the resume, knowing it's not like the main thing I'm going to do because I really want to work for that company. So that's where you start making decisions. But you can start writing a document without an end in mind, only if you are going to commit to having conversations to learn and discover what that target role eventually will be. You can't write an exploratory resume and submit it to job postings and think third-party recruiters are going to call you, because again, your exploratory resume isn't really speaking to anything specific. It's really just articulating what you want to be doing in your next role. So you need to still have an end in mind when you start applying to roles. And a solid exploratory resume is going to harness what you want to do, which will most likely for most people be in that newly discovered or validated role that they want to now consider after having some chats and learning about things and discovering things and learning about things they didn't know that they didn't even know, and validating maybe they actually love what they do, but they've just been in a toxic environment doing it and they got to change, but not change what they do, just change the environment. So these are the kinds of conversations you have with your network, with people, with us, and you start to fine tune with the direction. And then you just make some tweaks to that exploratory document that serve the direction that you just discovered you want to go in. But don't let not having a direction hold you back from having conversations, hold you back from having a polished modern document, because you can just have conversations. You can just reach out to people and have conversations. And so that's my mindset change over the recent years, is you can have a resume done without a direction. But you have to commit to doing conversations so you can find that direction. And so, if part of that exploratory process is you need some chats with people like me and my team, we're literally launching a service we're calling Career Therapy. And, it's an hour or two. It's nothing, intense or hardcore. Full disclosure, we are not therapists, we are not psychologists. We're not medical professionals. We're just listening and asking questions to help you decide what you like to do, what you don't like to do anymore, what should be on that document. And, this is separate than having, us or anyone write your resume. We're literally just listening. So then where to go get leads and conversations and how to start conversations. And we'll literally help you start having those exploratory conversations and where to have them in your network, where to reach out to people where to reach out to people you don't know, but they know the industries you want to explore, where to start having conversations so you can learn more about you and work towards having that direction eventually, but not having a direction to ultimately update your document if that's also what you decide to do. So anyway, that's my take today. If you're interested in having some conversations in the form of career therapy with us, I'll have the link below, or you can message me and I can give you that information as well. And, and again, I just hope you don't stay stuck. Whatever you're stuck about, that's what you should be talking to us or somebody about, because we can help you get unstuck and, really make it a doable step that you need to do next. Very small, and this way, the key is to get unstuck, because when you're stuck, it's really hard. So anyway, don't let not having a direction keep you stuck, because you can still move and take a direction, take a step, even if you're not sure what you want to do. So I hope you found this helpful. If you know of someone who will benefit from this, I'm going to ask you to share it with them, and like it if you like it. Comment if you have any questions, or you can also email me at lr@chameleonresumes.com. And make sure you subscribe to the channel so you do not miss next week's session. So look forward to seeing you then. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a comfy sweatshirt day. Take care.